Hey guys, welcome to another referee education session. My name's Luke Sultan. I'm the referee development and education coordinator at New South Wales Touch Footy. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some decision making, particularly the hard touch versus play on. So a question was posed to me during the week. How do we weigh up the difference between a touch that needs to be penalised for excessive force versus one that we can play on from? So I thought about this a little bit, and one of the things that I want to talk about, and it's something that we don't touch on too often, are the indicators. So the indicators around the decision and how we can decipher what needs to be penalised for a hard touch and what we can actually play on from. So the first thing I want to note is that these videos are from our state cup, and it is the men's open division. However, what I want to take the context away from is the type of game that we're going to watch in these clips. And I want us to focus on the indicators that we're discussing, because the indicators don't change from affiliate level right through to the international level of the game. The indicators that we're looking for when we're making these decisions are exactly the same. Now, let's talk about the indicators first. So there's two key indicators that we're looking for. The first is the ball carrier. So the person carrying the ball, the first thing we need to weigh up is, one, are they running forward with momentum? So are they running at sort of full pace, or are they static around the scoreline area waiting for maybe the defensive line to move forward and make a touch? Because for a player to be running forward at full pace, to then actually be pushed backwards and have their momentum changed, means that there's more than likely a fair bit of force involved. So that's quite a good indicator. Whereas if a player is a bit more static and they get pushed back a little bit, we need to accept the fact that there's probably not as much force involved in that kind of touch, because the attacking player didn't have any forward momentum to start with. The second thing we need to weigh up is if the roll ball that takes place is affected. So does the touch that the defender makes affect the roll ball that would have otherwise taken place? So that's the second thing we have to weigh up. In this first clip, what you'll notice is that the attacker is driving off their line, so they're running forward at full pace. And you'll actually see two plays in a row, so two roll balls in a row, the players fall forward. So quite often as referees, we'll see a player fall over when they're running at pace, and it's really visual because, they're moving at pace. It's, their arms and legs tend to go everywhere, and we're pretty quick to jump on a penalty. But what we're lacking in terms of what weighing up is the fact that the ball carrier actually doesn't have any balance control when they go into the play the ball, to roll the ball. And the onus is actually on the attacker to play the ball cleanly, just as much as it is on the defender to make the touch cleanly and not affect the roll ball. So that is what we sort of need to pay attention to. So we'll just play this first video and we'll talk through it. What you'll notice is we get the first drive here. The player comes in at speed, leans forward, and ends up falling over because he loses his balance. The same with the second. And the referee correctly plays on. On the second one there, he calls the ball down, but he doesn't penalise the actions of the defender because they haven't actually done anything wrong. So if we go back and watch it one more time. Indicator one, we get a clean play the ball, and we have players falling forward. So in the opinion of the referee, the impact of the defender hasn't affected the outcome, and that's why we're able to play on. So in this second example, it's very similar to the first. We have a player who's coming in for what we call a strike dump. So he's attacking the scoreline and he's coming in at speed to play the ball. Again, he falls forward because his momentum is quite quick, but the impact of the defender doesn't actually cause him to fall over. And we end up getting a clean play the ball, which we're able to continue on from. So we play on this one, comes in at pace, falls forward, loses his balance, but we get a clean play the ball. The dummy half picks up and scoops. It leads to nothing, but there's nothing there to penalise. So we'll watch it one more time. Falls forward, clean roll ball. Off we go with half. And that's what we need to weigh up. Okay, rolling into a different scenario now. So the ball carrier isn't moving forward with as much momentum as what we've seen in the previous videos. The attack is much more upright, and the defender making the touch actually affects the roll ball. So he pushes the defender off his line and he stumbles backwards a little bit, and it does affect the roll ball. And that's why the referee penalizes it, and penalizes it correctly. So as we've discussed, the indicators knocked off his balance by the defender, and it impacts a roll ball that we would have otherwise seen. Go through that one more time. So the clear indicator there is the defender has impacted the roll ball, and therefore we're penalising for a hard touch. Now, whilst we have some really, really obvious hard touch penalties, which is a no-brainer for everyone to see, these ones are the ones where it's a bit more borderline as to whether it's the fault of the defender or the attacker. And that's why I'm using these two as examples. So we'll watch this one as well. You'll see here that the player actually drops the ball. It's hard to see on camera, but the attacker drops the ball and actually forces the referee into a decision. He either needs to call ball down, fault of the defender, or hard touch, fault of the attacker. So watch it one more time. And the referee makes the decision. Now, what you'll see here is the Manly player will actually walk towards the referee here and have a bit of a chat, just question the decision. For us as referees, it's a really simple response, mate. You've made the touch and you've affected the roll ball. It's as simple as that. That's all we need to say. And that's our indicator that we're working to. Does it affect the roll ball? Yeah, it does. So it's a penalty for a hard touch. So that's a super quick one for today. I know I harped on about it a little bit, but what I want to finish on is the two indicators that we're looking for around a hard touch versus a play on. One, we have to weigh up, is the attacker coming forward at speed, and are they losing their own balance and control, or are they sort of standing static on the scoreline? And finally, has the touch that the defender made impacted the roll ball that we likely would have otherwise seen? If you guys have any other areas of the game you'd like to see some coaching clips on, make sure you reach out to me via email at luke.golden@nswtouch.com.au, and we'll do our best to get those put together for you.